for coming.
As I said before, this is a joint lecture.
470 and 474. We're going to replay the video, the recording during the 474 class. Those of you who can't make it are going to need to watch this. There's a 10-point assignment to submit your reflections, your takeaways from the lecture. But this is an exciting topic. This is something that I'm really looking forward to. Something you need to know about. It's transforming finance, it's transforming real estate, and it's changing constantly. If anything we would have lectured 3 months ago would be obsolete already. So it's constantly moving. If you want to make good decisions in real estate, you need to have the best data, the best tools. And if you want to get a job in real estate, you need to be the person that is able to master this stuff. So I think it's relevant to all of your careers. It'll be relevant to your futures, and looking forward to hearing what Dr. Jagba has to say. So I will introduce him to the group. He is a instructor here in the Broad School, teaching a course on AI. I strongly recommend you look into that course if you got more time here. Those of you who are seniors are kind of past that point, but he'll explain the course a little bit, and some other things that I think we're going to be able to do with this next year. But all right, I've taken up enough of this time. I'll turn it over to Dr. Jagba.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gray. Right. All right, good morning, everyone. Okay, so today we're going to dive into a very important subject that is of actuality and news. So I will try to make a brief summary of the introduction to how we can apply AI in finance setting. So just an introduction. So if you really want to know more, I think you might look into because as Dr. Gray already said. So how many of you have ever used AI in daily life? Raise your hand. Okay, all of you. How many of you have ever used AI for work? Okay, now I see less hand now. Okay, great. So today we will trying to see how we can apply, this new technology of AI in working setting, or make our life to be easy to complete some certain task. Imagine that a task that you can do for maybe 1 hour, you just do it in 1 minute. So that's the power of AI. Okay. So today we have some objective to attend, but if the time does not permit us to go through all of this, please be with me, and maybe next time, with the permission of Dr. Gray, we could organize this again. So we want to, first of all, understand the fundamental of discriminative AI and generative AI. So there's a big difference between discriminative AI and generative AI. Okay? So, of course, discriminative AI is helping us to mimic the analytic thinking of human beings. And generative AI is mimicking the creative part of human beings. Okay? So let me give you an example. Let's assume that you have a large amount of data, and then you want to shrink it to get a particular information. For instance, you have your credit card. You want to see whether after some given time, if it is there have been a fraudulent activity on your credit card or not. So that is not required to generate some text, but to just give an answer, yes or no. Yes, there is a fraudulent activity on your account. No. So that's what we call classification. So this is actually what we call discriminative AI, and that is what has been introduced over years. And then people that how many of you have a knowledge in machine learning before? No. Okay. So that's what those who work in machine learning, they have introduced to do a predictive task and so on. But here we have now generative AI here, as the word is standing, is generating some text, some content. okay, let me not say text, but some content. It could be text, it could be audio, it could be video, it could be images, okay? But especially what we want to focus on is large language model, okay? So let me take the big landscape of AI, okay? I don't know if you have a marker here or, okay, no marker. So taking the big landscape of AI, we have discriminative AI and generative AI. And then we have large language model are just a subset. Okay, thank you so much, appreciate it. Okay, so I'm just taking this big landscape of AI. So we have generative AI here, and then we have discriminative AI here, okay? So this section is what is generating some new content, new information. You can just write a sentence and then it generates a large amount of text or large amount of images or depending on what you're looking for, okay? So now particularly what is interesting us here is LLM, large language model. And large language model is located somewhere here, LLM. So this model is generates only text, anything related to text, that is our focus. So of course we have quite an example of a large language model, you all know, GPT. The definition is generative pre-trained transformer, okay? The generative pre-trained transformer. Let's understand a bit of the mechanism of GPT, okay? So first of all, I want just to establish the fundamental before we move into the practical aspect. So the generative, as you understand, is generating some content. Pre-trained. Most of those large language models actually learn from pattern, from data, right? So when you say pre-trained, that means it learns from vast amount of data. So those who coded the GPT, they have used an amount of data, some website and so on, right? And transformer is the intelligent part of the GPT. So this using an algorithm called what we call attention algorithm, right? So let me give a just basic an example. So let's assume that you just a kid that's starting growing and then want to learn a new language, maybe to understand German or French and so on. So what this child need to do first is to expose himself to some content, right? Audio in French or text in French and so on, right? Some news. And then he began to absorb those words. So that's the process, part of the pre-train. So this, I'm just making an analogy. So the same way, for GPT to be able to answer or do something, it has been trained a vast amount of text or data, right? And let's assume that we take two kids. One kid is learning German, French at the same time, but another kid is learning 10 languages at the same time. So what could be the difference between those two kids? So one could be very intelligent, like super intelligent, and able to absorb many languages at the same time. So this the GPT, the transformer mechanism is the intelligent part of GPT. Okay, and I mean those who develop those models, they use quite a lot of bad math. Algorithm to develop that, but we will not go into this aspect. Okay, so so we have quite a number of large language model, GPT, Llama, Gemini, and so on. Okay, now there's two main points that I would like you to take out from this course, right? The first is how to use efficiently a large language model. Okay, so when we say large language model, GPT is an example, Claude is an example, Gemini is an example. So how can we use this? So because the main difference between large language model and Google, who can tell me the main difference? So you all have been familiar with how to use Google before, right? Okay. So if you want to search anything on Google, you just enter keyword. That's all. Okay. So keyword. But now large language model is different. The way you're using Google is completely different to the way you're using large language model. Here now we are actually writing prompt. That is, could be paragraph, right? So the way you customize those prompts will determine the output that you get. So if your prompt is very poor, you likely will get some poor answer from those large language models. So we want to learn how we can prompt efficiently to get the customer output when we are using any large language model. Okay, all right. And then second objective is to develop now agents. So when we talk about agent now, because large language model is an example, right? But we want to connect our large language model with some external source, like Excel sheet, Python, and other external sources. So that's where now the agent come in. So you can see that when we say AI agent is, just a complex, a combination of large language model with some external sources tool that you connect to get the output that you're looking for. Okay. Just a brief detail. Those are the few examples of prompt technique, right? So, of course, maybe you're using GPT, but you're using as normal user, right? You want something, but you just type, okay, I want something. But here you want to be very efficient, more professional about the way you are writing your prompt, right? So we have some quite a number of techniques of how to do that. But so time will not permit us to go through all those techniques, right? So those are the very deep technique that we are diving into during the course, right? Okay. But I will just introduce one or two of them. The first is CSIs, like context, instruction, and specificity. So let us know that you want to write a Donny letter. Okay. So you say you probably ask a GPT Donny letter. He will just give you a definition, right? Not giving you what you're looking for. But now, if you want to be more professional, you need to define the context in which you want, to draft the Donny letter or not. So you give who you are, because as a Donny letter, you probably want to say, okay, I am an accountant, right? You define your role, the context in which you want, and then specifically give more detail about the instruction that you want, any additional detail that you want him to know, and then instruction. Okay, then can you draft the Donny letter for me? Okay, so that is CSI technique, right? Now another technique is called chain of thought prompting. Okay, looking at this, right? You can see here between those two prompts, the first prompt that we ask, the answer is wrong, right? But the second prompt, when we change a bit, the answer is right. So it all depends. So we call this fusion prompt. So let's assume that you want maybe large language model to give an answer to you. You could use fusion prompt like training model. So for a particular question that you are asking, you give the model one example. Okay, I want you to give me an answer based on this example. So you first give one question, one previous question, and one answer. So you are asking GPT now to learn from these previous example to give you, similar, something in a new context, right? And of course, you want him to give you the detail. So this is, for instance, automatic chain of thought. So this you can see the difference. We are adding another keyword called "let's think step by step." So in all the previous prompt, we didn't add this word, but this word have a significant impact of the answer that you're getting from the large language model. Let's think step by step. So, of course, those technique has been innovated by some few, I think, very recent years, 2024, 2023. And I mean, research showed that when you add let's think step by step, it impacts on the output that you're looking for, right? So that is chain of thought. So here we have, you have another technique called self-consistency and tree of thought. Okay, so let's look into this. This picture. You want to get an output, right? So the self-consistency here. You have a question, and then you want the model to solve for you, right? And let's assume that what's your name? So, Jack. Okay, and what's your name? Ubik, thanks. So Jack and Ubik and I, we are working on something, okay? And we get an answer. So Jack and I, we get the same answer, and then you get a different answer. So we would like to tell the model to give us the majority vote. So I think so likely that the majority will have the correct answer. I mean, it's not always true, but this is how the self-consistent think. So if we have many people that get the same answer and then less people, that means that the correct answer will be likely the majority vote. So that is actually the self-consistent prompting. Okay. Now the tree of thought, we are now as a team. We are working as a team, and we want to share some thoughts as a team. Now, we're not working separately, but we are working as a team, Jack and all of us. So we share idea. So, the first step, you share your idea, I share my idea, and then we move on to the next step. So that's how we eliminate any wrong idea, we pull it out. So that's actually what the tree of thought is saying. Okay, so this is an example of a tree of thought prompt instruction. So if you want to write, you using tree of thought to craft some prompt for you. So you begin some prompt by saying, imagine 3 different experts answering this question, right? So the whole scenario is different now. Anyone that is starting his prompt by saying, imagine 3 experts. So GPT immediately we think about 3 aspects. That is want to solve the particular maybe question that you want to ask him. The whole expert will write down one step of their thinking and then share it with the group. So this instruction here is actually what we are capturing in a tree of thought. So let's assume that you want to prompt something using tree of thought. Of course, your prompt instruction should start with this. Yeah, you could maybe use another wording or something like that to do that. Any question? Any question? Can we continue? Okay. All right. So this is an example of, let us say you are a senior financial analyst, right? So you want to tell GPT the context in which you want to ask the question, and then think through this company performance using explore several reasoning paths before deciding. Right? Explore several reasoning paths before deciding. So who can tell me this word? What are we referring to? Is it self-consistency or tree of thought? Any idea? So by just writing the word, explore several reasoning paths before deciding. Okay, and first consider profit. Okay, now you're giving detail. You're giving detail, right? So here now we combine several techniques at the same time. So, of course, we are using Tree of Touch because we want him to explore different paths before giving us the answer. So, of course, you could experiment it later, but try to write that and then use the normal prompt that you used to do and see the different output that you're going to get. Okay, so you can experiment it by yourself, maybe outside this class. Any question? Okay, so that was a brief introduction to prompt engineering technique, right? So, but of course, today you know that we don't use large language model the same way we use Google, because those are two different set apart models. Okay, and to efficiently use large language model, we need understanding of prompt technique, right? Okay, that's it. That's the first thing. So now, what is AI agent? So here we want to ask to do some complex task for us. Okay, let's assume that you want to you have a PDF, right? And then you only want to extract, maybe you have a profit, you have a financial statement, and you want to only extract some information, the particular information from the financial statement, right? And then you upload this PDF to GPT, and then you give an instruction, extract certain kind of information from the text, right? And then that's all. He will extract those information and give it to you. That's all. It ended there. But he cannot take some action, right? So when I say action is do something that is outside the large language model. So he will extract some information from what you're looking for, but let's assume you want to extract some information and then maybe put it in Excel sheet, right? And then organize the Excel sheet and then send it to your manager and so on. So that is 3 different actions that you're taking, right? So GPT cannot do those complex tasks for you. It can extract it. You can use it to extract some information or generate something for you, but not doing external thing. So that's where now the AI agent coming in. So the AI agent here, of course, is a combination of ChatGPT and so on. Okay? Any question? Is it clear? Okay, great. So you could connect with some external source like Excel, Python, SQL, and so on, right? So so this can automate some multi-task. So we're going to learn now how to, create a AI workflow that can do a particular task for us. Okay. Okay. So this is an example of what I'm saying as a large language model here. We mean Claude, we mean GPT, we mean so we have the input and then we have the output. But now when we say AI agents, so we are adding some other things. We are adding Excel sheet, we are adding some external source, right? Because that is AI or workflow. Okay. So basic understanding of AI agent. That is the architecture of AI agent. We have the brain, we have the instruction, we have the memory, right? But if you're using GPT, you already know that GPT have a memory, right? So if you write in some things, the same conversation to remember what you did maybe a few hours ago, right? So you have a short-term memory. So that's we have a large language. We have external tool. We have the system prompt. We have the instruction. So here we have two type of prompt. We have the instruction that is actually embedded into the large language model himself. But we have the system prompt that is outside for the user. So we have 2 type of prompt here. The first prompt is actually inside the AI agent that you craft the prompt. The other prompt is outside for those who do the user. Okay? And then we have the output. So that is basically the architecture. Okay, so now what we're trying to do, this is the example that we're going to go through it today. And then I hope that at the end, I think some of you may already have this running on your laptop and experiment how this works. So this is an example in the situation where we building this agent to extract certain kind of information from financial data to give us some metrics or a dashboard. Okay, but don't worry about this. We will come to this later now. So let's build an. So the platform that we're going to use to build this AI agent is we're going to use N8N. How many of you have ever heard about N8N before? None of you. Okay. I'm glad that you're hearing it today. Okay, so so we're going to learn how to first of all create an account on N8N, right? It requires a Gmail and any email address, and then create an account. And then we're going to compile a first workflow so that you know, okay, how you can create an agent from there. Okay. So I think some of you might already have access to this PDF. Okay, can you please, all of you guys, open your D12 and open this PDF and open this link. Okay, we have a brief introduction on N8N, how we can compile our first workflow. And also, you have the first workflow that is on D12 as well. This agent that I actually developed here, you have the file, is a JSON file, JavaScript file that we can import once we have created an account. Okay. Okay. Raise your hand if you're able to access those the PDF D12. Okay, great, thanks. Okay, try to open this link and let's try to create an account for yourself. Okay, so of course those platform, I think they have 2 weeks free trial. Right. When you want to use GPT, of course, at the point they will start asking you subscription. So most of those large language models are not free, by the way. So some of them might request some subscription, and then the basic subscription could be $20 or $15 a month, something like that. But but we have free large language model is Llama. The Llama is not actually performing complex tasks last year, but just for your awareness. But here, the edit that we're going to introduce, I said now, is you have 2 weeks free trial. So you will not pay today. That's a good news. Okay, so let's try to create an account. And I think I have already an account here, and then, okay, this is how this will look like. So once you have, I think I screenshot step by step. I think it is, after you click this link, it will show you start automating today. So enter your credential and make sure you start a free trial, and then you should be able to get, this first page. So let me know if you are at this stage now. Yeah, all of you? or some of you. Great. Okay, so most of you are at this stage, right? So because I want us to go together so that at the end you also have the diction file working on your laptop, and then maybe after this class you could see what you can do after, maybe improve, and then start investigating, building from there of any specific task that you want to do with it. Okay, so this is the platform, right? And then so here, this is the this is the environment where you creating the workflow. So when we say, I give you an example of workflow in the introduction. So when we say workflow is a agent that you're trying to build to complete a specific task for you. A task that could take maybe 10 hours, you could complete it in maybe 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So the good part is that, to build the AI workflow, if you want to, if some of you are familiar with coding, in computer science, before you write a program, you need to first write the algorithm, right? So when you drop the algorithm, you know the picture of what you want to do with this program so the algorithm requires the input, the output, and the design. So that is the first thing that you should do, right? What do you want your agent to do for you, right? So that is, you start thinking about this, and then from there you could say, okay, what are the node that I'm looking for? So you build that before starting creating the AI workflow here. Okay, so of course we have, if you want to create a new, you start creating a new workflow here. So this is completely empty here now. So you could, if you want to add a new workflow, you could just, let's say AI agent. This is a node, right? That you add, right? So you can see I just add a node. This node here is AI agent. That's the architecture, right? So we have the chat model. You can connect with chat GPT. So you can call GPT here. You can call Gemini AI here. So you want to connect this with Excel. We have Excel here. So, depending on what you want to do with Excel, append, row, tab, table. So, okay, I want to create a table. So you could add this as well here. So those are nodes, right? So you interconnected those nodes to build what you're looking for, right? So here is where you can find the node. But let's just go back to our first interface, right? And you will see in this panel template. So the template actually giving an idea. Those who develop and they have already some template for you to use to test it, depending. A lot of people have been developing some new things and then put it available free trial. But of course, you could make use of it and then adapt it to what you're looking for. So if you don't mind to click on template. Right. Okay. Do you all have access to this? Yeah, template. Okay. So you have we have many workflow that people have been developed already, and you can access it. So let's assume that as a financial. Okay, maybe 2 results. Okay. No, let me close it. Okay, we have 9 results already. So for financial analysis, people have already done 9 workflow, 9 free workflow that you could access on financial. But of course, might not be exactly what you're looking for. But you can see. Oh, okay, this is let's say this workflow power. Let's say here. Automatic fetch, daily sale, ship, receive from, da, 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 da. Okay, let me open this, for instance. Okay, so this is the workflow that they have built already. Yeah, you could use it for free. And maybe having some idea of how you can improve or maybe make use of that and then customize it to yours and start building from there, right? So you could, for Adam, you read what is it, who is it for, how this work, this workflow run automatically on daily schedule, it fetch all sale data and reset from your account. You can see the detail and then total revenue, gross profit, and net, and so on, and then how to set it up, preparation, and so on. So if you want to start using it, so you say use for free, and then you start building from there. So let me click on import template. I just import this now. Okay, we have the architecture already, right? But so another thing, now you have, they give those who have developed, they give the detail of, how to set it up, make it work, right? Okay, so let's go back to what we want to make. So, okay, I see I have some moments here. So, now, you can all open a new workflow, and you will, here you have import file. Okay? So, can you please import the JSON file that you have? In your detail, you have 2 files, financial analysis dashboard, JSON file. So you create a new workflow and then import it, and then you should have something like this. Okay.
You have that?
Yep. Anyone has done it? Yeah.
You just select one, and we look up financial model.
You didn't get this exact workflow. Okay, let me go backward, okay? So this is, so let's assume you pick up from, so create workflow, okay? Right? Okay, so you should have an empty workflow. You have it? Great. And then, so import. So when you can import now the file that you have, I think you have the JSON file. Do you all have the JSON file? Sorry. Okay. Can you check your detail, please? We added 2 files, one PDF and another JSON file, JavaScript file. It's called financial analysis dashboard. Okay.
You get hung up, this recording is going to be available, so you can watch this.
Okay.
video and catch up later.
Yep. Okay. Someone else, have you accessed this? And raise your hand if you have this file and you import it. There. Sorry? Oh, you only see the PDF. Okay. Yeah, the JavaScript file. Yeah. So, yeah. So let me. Yeah. So this should be the file that let us assume that I want to. Yeah, I can download this, right? Because this has been already built, and this file is what I'm looking. I was referring to. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So maybe while we're checking it, so after you have this file, you can now import this file in your new environment worksheet, right? But of course, I mean, we have a limited time, so time will not permit us to start creating from scratch. Like, we could start doing it, but it might take a large amount of. So we could say, okay, we have this node. You will search the node form submission. On form submission, this is the first node, trigger node, right? And then you connect to split out, connect to analyzing the document with the Gemini here and so on. So you interconnected all the nodes, and then you build your first AI workflow like this. Okay. Yep. So sorry, Dr. Gray, can you please see if yeah, yeah, thank you. Is it the only file that I sent? Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right. Okay. So Dr. Gray will upload it so that you all have it. I want you guys to do it at the same time, and then so that we at least at the end of this section, you all have your first AI workflow, maybe running, maybe about to work with your laptop, and then you will continue later. Yeah. Right. So so after this, so you can, after you finish your workflow, you will publish. Okay, publish. Okay. Got it. And then you want maybe a user to use your AI workflow to do what they want to do. So this is how you're going to have it. On form submission, you generate some URL that you can share this link to the user, and they can start using your agent to do what they want to do. So this is only for the user, right? So after you build everything, and then you can generate the link. Okay. Right. So let me first. So if you want to execute this workflow, this is where you execute. Okay, you should have it. Okay, thank you, Dr. Gray. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, please can you check your D12 and yeah, see if you can import it. So now we're going to learn how to configure each node, right? Each node needs configuration and needs a bit of coding of what we want to do. And then after you configure all the node now, we can execute here. So let's just say one trial. Okay, so basically at the end of the file here, I put the workflow that we are doing today, I think. Yeah, that is the workflow that we trying today. So what is this workflow is doing? Automate financial report with NAN. Then we are extracting some information from the financial statement. Okay, so output some key metrics. Okay, and those key metrics here are revenue, gross profit, net profit, a quick visualization comparison. So we're going to upload some financial statement from different companies, and then we will write, they are heavy, right? Some of them will be 100 pages, like 60 pages, and you want him to read the financial statement for you, and then extract some key metrics, and then do some analysis of the revenue, and then so on, right? So yeah, we first upload financial report, and then we will have also a dynamic dashboard. A dynamic dashboard showing, a comparison of those metrics and give us some insights of recommendation, right? So that's basically what we're testing today. And yeah, from there we could start improving our model, right? So one thing you should know is that when you start, the first workflow, the first AI model that you are developing your own model, you should not be quick to give up, right? You know, in life, you need to be persistent, right? So your first trial could be tough, right? And it might maybe give you some error. It's like coding. Or maybe when you are running the workflow, you could get some error, but you get some headache. But once you build that model for yourself, it will be useful for large amount of years for you, right? So, but make it work. It might take a bit of timing, consuming timing. But when you build it consistently, and then it's on. You're free to use it and then you can build it for your internal company. So, okay, this model, we build it for our internal company that is only close to our company, not outside. Right? Okay. So, have you all uploaded the worksheet? I think we see how far. Do you all have this now? Good, great. Okay, could you try to execute? Let's see what's going to happen in your case. Try to execute and see what's going to happen. Okay, so here, I'm going to execute here to see. So we upload some financial report and then get some key metrics. So yeah, this is, example of dashboard that you could create, right? The inform summation. You could create more dynamic form summation. So your user, when they click on this is what's going to happen. This is just, an example. So you could upload your file. Okay, let me upload the financial statement of 2025. Yeah, and we submit this file. Okay, so you submitted the file. What is happening at the background? So you could see the progress of how your agent is working. He's working on the file. He's reading. So you can see, okay, he complete the first node. The second, at the third node, he's on the third node now. You can see it's running. It is compiling. It's working. This node actually is analyzing the document, reading through the whole document. I think it's a document of 200 pages. And then we will see what outputs we get from there. So for your case, when you execute, what do you get? What you get? When you execute, what's the first message that came to you? Yeah. Oh, is there any financial, any financial report. In our case, I think I'm using this. Oh, okay. Okay, that's all right. Yep. Okay, that's all. So, but you try to upload any financial report, any PDF, right? Yep. Yeah. Upload any financial report that have financial statements in it. So we want to extract some metrics, gross profit, revenue, and so on, and then see a bit of visualization of the dashboard, how it will look like, and then so.
You got the rich copy, Philadelphia,
So, yeah, it's working. You know, if when you are also using the GPT, it show thinking mode, right? It might take some time to think a bit to give you the output. So now it's working. You can see is running. You can see the red flag is showing that it's working, right? So it's analyzing your document, and then at the end you're going to see the output, right? But now we're going to look, after we get the output, now we're going to look into how to configure each node. That's our job now. So that you know, okay, can I configure the on-form submission? How can I configure the Gemini? How can I configure the open chat model? And then so on. So to get the output that you're looking for. Okay. So if some of you guys have maybe done a trial, and I'm hoping that it might give you error. It will give you error because first it's like configuration. You haven't yet configured something. So what is the node that give you error then? Yeah, analyze document. Okay, great. And what other node? Okay, yeah. That is understand. Okay, so we're going to, you can see it's sticking now to the form. It will give us, a HTML5. This is how we code. Yeah, so that's the. So after you run, you compile, and everything is successful, it will show workflow compiled successfully. So for you to know, okay, my agent is working very well. And then the output is the file that we have here. Okay. Okay, so this is the output that we have at. Okay, so this is what is showing: revenue growth, gross margin, net margin, gross profit, net gross profit, revenue, current revenue. I think this is comparing the revenue prior to previous period, the gross profit, and then it gives us a bit of trend of the revenue. And I think we also have the growth matrix analysis to see as the margin analysis. We have period over period analysis comparison. So okay, so basically this is what this workflow is doing. But let's go back here. We can see the output that we have now. So so here, what is happening? First of all, I think I need to unpublish it, right? Okay, so on form submission, let's click this node. So this is how you configure the node. So you have the title, you give the title that you have there. This is where we give the title, and then we have the description, the element. Okay, we put data as an element, and we choose element type is a file. So here, let's assume that you're building some form. You could add other form. Other form could be, okay, fill in some form like detail. So here you going to add form element. So the first page is where which form that you want to upload. I mean, you want to fill it out. It could be PDF, Excel sheet, and so on, or information, that's it. And please make it as habit to compile each node, right? So I'm going to execute this node first to see if it is working before moving to the second node. So when you are building your agent, so if I execute this node, this is what's going to happen, right? So I'm only uploading a file like a PDF file. So, but let's assume that I'm going to stop this. Okay. Let me stop listening. Yeah. So let's assume that I want to add form element, right? Yeah, it could be your detail, maybe name. So the inputs, yeah, text inputs. Okay, and let me execute this. So you can see new configuration, new thing coming. Before there was no name, but here we have a name now that appear. So you could maybe depend on what the first information will be for you, and that's how you can configure. But so each time that you create a new form, you need to be able to edit. What is the content? Is it an Excel sheet or is it a text? Is it a number and so on? Make sure that you use a correct file, right? Okay. So stop listening here. Now here, this is our node, Gemini AI. I mean, how many of you is a Gemini AI user? Okay, great. So, of course, it's a large language model. Remember, we learned what is a large language model here, right? The whole agent is not large language model. It's only one or two sections that is just calling large language model. Yes, so if you let's assume you go in ChatGPT and then you ask, can you please do this analysis for me? Just maybe plot a graph, basic graph of revenue. So I don't think ChatGPT will have capability to do that. He's going to interact with some external source. So he might be interacting with Python. Then when he'll allow Python to do the job, and then he will give you the outcome. So it's like he's working, GPT is working with external source. So here we have Gemini AI. And the job of our goal of using Gemini AI is just to extract detail in the document. So you have your financial statement, and then you want to extract some kind of information. Which kind of information you're looking for? So that's where now you specify test input, extract information. That's all. Okay, and now you can connect. How can you connect your Gemini AI to your AI agent? There's one thing, it's called API key. API key. So first of all, you need to first access the Gemini AI API platform. of course, the Gemini that you have is just the user, the interface, but we're going to generate an API key, right? So you go to Gemini AI platform and you generate API key, and this key you paste it here. So that makes the connection now. You just connect your agent with Gemini AI. Okay, so okay, so we have, yeah. So this is the platform to generate the API key if you are making use of Gemini AI, right? So I think you should also have an account there. If you, yeah, you should create an account on AIstudio.google.com. And then after you create an account, you create over here, create API key. Okay, so, yeah. Then after you create the API key, now you can create and name the project you want to do, and then you have the key is here, copy API key, right? So this is an example, but you could create yes, you name it, and then you create a key. Okay. And then you have, I think I created some few keys, those last week, and you can copy the key. So this key, that's what you're going to paste it, here, in your API key to connect the model, and then you save. So if it is connected successfully, you should show connected successfully. So let me do it, right? So I copy the key here, and let me close this. Yeah. So initially, when you open this, in your case, it should be empty, right? So now you paste the key, and you should save. So when you save, it should show you connections tested successful. So now your agent is connected to Gemini. So it's making use of Gemini now. You're no longer using the chatbot of Gemini, but your node, the trigger node, any information that you put it in your trigger node, we pass through, we go through to the Gemini to analyze the document for you, and then maybe do the next task. Any question?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it can only be Google Gemini, can't be chat or.
Yeah, that's a good question. We come to that, right? Because we are actually making use of two large languages in our AI workflow. We're making use of Gemini and Open AI ChatGPT, right? So in the next module now, I'm showing you how also to connect ChatGPT, right? So we're using Gemini to analyzing the document for us, just to read and find out the information that we are looking for. But the ChatGPT is to give us the output, right? So that's it. Okay, so do you all know how to create an account on Google Studio? I think. Yeah. So you should create an account here and then create a key called API key. And I think this, when you're using a Google API keys, I think it's free, yeah. But when this comes to ChatGPT, I'm not so sure. I mean, it should be not free, but sometimes you put some, maybe $5 just to make use of it. Okay, let's. So now I can execute this node, right? To see if the node is working. Yeah. So I can upload my document and then see if it's working. So let me not upload it. Let's go to other node. So this node is now extracting information. So the Gemini is for analyzing, but this is extracting information, and it's connected to the open chat model. This is ChatGPT. This is where ChatGPT is acting, right? So here we are making use of ChatGPT here. So let me open this. Yeah, we're making use of GPT 4.1. You could use GPT 5, and yeah, depending, you have several on the list. Which GPT you want to select to be part of the work that you are building, and then how you can connect this to your GPT. How can you connect? Okay, so that's where now you need to create an account on platform OpenAI. How many of you have access to this platform before? Okay, so this is actually not, okay, you all know GPT, but you have the chatbot where you can put in prompt and then get the output. That's okay. But when you want to make use of the API, you go to platform OpenAI. So now we are asking the help now to connect to the model in it himself, right? So yeah, so you're going to create an account here as well, and you need your email and so on. So you create an account in this platform, open.com, openai.com, and then you go to create a new key. I have several keys here, but yeah, how to do that? Create a new key, and yeah, give the name, like I say, okay, default, you can create a key. Okay, so this is generating your key. Okay, the key is there. So this is the key that you're going to copy, and now we are back to our workflow, and paste it here, right? Copy and paste, and connect. Save. This could not connect it. We try, maybe let me see. Connect. Okay. Yeah, not connecting successfully. Let me see if it maybe generate the key that we're using before. Okay. Create a new key. Should be generated successfully. Okay. We copy it here, and yeah, paste. Okay. Yeah, I think something's wrong here. I think we can connect with this setting, need more detail. Authorized fail, please check your credential. There's something's wrong with my credential. Yep, sometimes you face those kind of error. Let's see. Okay, let me go back. Keep editing. close. Okay, so let's do it again. Yeah, something's wrong here. Okay, so I think it's all required. I think it should be maybe the key is not generated asynchronous. I'm not so sure. So let me test again. Or maybe let's use other in the list couldn't load list. Okay. What is it stopping?
One is beneath node, you're creating that.
Yeah.
Linking to other resources that are gonna execute those.
Yeah. Yeah.
One time.
Yeah. So, and again, so, but you know the step now. Let's move to, because of time. Here, you have the JavaScript. So that is actually the complexity of the task, right? Because here, that's where now you write in JavaScript code. But, okay, if you don't have any knowledge in JavaScript, please don't be, don't, yeah, it's you can generate those code with or with ChatGPT, right? Okay, so here, what I do here, you go to ChatGPT or Claude, and then okay, say I'm writing a code, a JavaScript in N8N that will extract in key information, current period, gross profit, and so on. Please, and then you give all the data generated the JavaScript code for me. So, yeah, the code is very long. Yeah. So if we want to change the code, we can edit the code and then, I think it is close to 1,300 line of code. So basically, this node is the one that is actually building the dashboard that we have at the end. We have the HTML file, we have the dashboard, we have different metrics that I showed you a few minutes ago, and doing the comparison and so on. Okay, and at the end here we have the return file, which is the HTML file. Okay, so I think after you compile, you all see those dashboard appearing. I think that's the dashboard that we generate. I think. So if you want to make use of different comparison of different companies, you could also insert two income statement at the same time, and then extract information to show you the gross, the average gross margin, and so on. So I think my time is almost done. This is just an introduction, but I hope that this is useful, and you can maybe later try this again.
This helps appreciate the power of it. You could just as easily drop that into an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Double it, code Java,
Exactly. Yeah.
1,200 lines.
Yeah. Good. Any question?
Takeaway here is, right, this is not easy, which is good. You don't want it to be, you're not working it. You want it to be, so. Mastering this will set you apart. We're gonna go through financial statements that are 200 pages long in both of these classes. Very small text, enormous amounts of numbers, and when you're an asset manager or investment analyst, that's 50% or more of your job, analyzing financials. Looking for variances, looking for problems, looking for opportunities, and creating these types of tools will definitely be your value to your careers. Very least, hopefully, you can appreciate the opportunity. What is revenue? And the
Any question? Do you have any question or comment?
Enjoyed watching this many times as you want on
All right, great. Thank you for listening. And yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Right. So I think we should stop the recording.